For the first time ever, the average cost of a new car in the U.S. topped $50,000. But the good news is the average lifespan of a car is also breaking records.
So what's the new car market looking like for 2026? The trends, the technology that we're going to see?
We're going to see prices elevated to a degree, but also remaining somewhat stable.
Okay, we'll take stable at this point. So stabilization is good. Brian, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Yes, thank you.
Every single month, I watch the same thing happen to car lots across America. Half the inventory is disappearing in days. The other half is rotting, and the dealers selling the rotting half are losing their minds trying to move them. You walk onto a lot thinking you're going to see everything the market has to offer. Instead, you're seeing exactly what nobody wants. And that's where the real money is being left on the table. Meet Sarah. She needed a sedan, a practical four-door sedan with good gas mileage. She walked onto a Honda dealership lot in suburban Atlanta in February 2024. The salesman showed her three options: 3 sedans in a Honda dealership. The lot was packed with other stuff, but sedans, barely a handful. Sarah bought a 2023 Honda Accord, paid $29,500 for it. Perfectly reasonable for a Honda, perfectly normal. Except it wasn't normal anymore. That sedan market had shifted so hard that Sarah was basically buying yesterday's dream. The lot knew it. The manufacturers knew it. Nobody was talking about it publicly. But Sarah just got an education in what happens when the car market fractures into a two-tier system. Winners and losers, movers and sitters. And if you're shopping right now, which tier you land on depends entirely on knowing the difference between what's dying and what's flying off the lot in 3 days flat. This is exactly what we're seeing in the spring of 2026. The used car market isn't struggling across the board. It's not slowing down evenly. Instead, you've got a situation where certain cars can't be given away fast enough, and other cars are going to sit on lots so long that dealers are just accepting loss after loss. The spread between the fastest sellers and the slowest sellers has never been wider. And if you're buying right now, you're either catching a deal that's been marked down 5 times in frustration, or you're paying a $3,000 markup on something a dealer knows is gone by Friday. There's no middle ground anymore. Understanding which cars fall into which category literally could save you thousands of dollars or cost you thousands you don't even realize you're losing. Let's dig into the dealer's nightmare, and then we'll talk about what's flying off their lots. Starting in late 2025, something broke in the full-size sedan market. The Volkswagen ID.4, the Audi A6, the Porsche Taycan. These aren't cheap cars. These aren't impulse buys, but they're sitting. The Volkswagen ID.4 has been the slowest selling car in America for 3 straight months. Market day supply of 297 days. That means if VW stopped making them tomorrow, they'd still be selling the current inventory sitting on lots right now into August, July, almost to August. Think about that. That's not a supply chain issue. That's a demand collapse. 6,000 units sitting, waiting, depreciating. The IC Cars data from March 2026 shows the reality. The average price for a VW ID.4 has dropped $4,200 from where it was 6 months prior. Dealers are in what industry insiders call panic mode. One dealership manager in Michigan told Automotive News, "We've had ID.4s sit for over 8 months. We're basically giving them away at this point." The VW situation crystallizes the whole problem with electric vehicles in the used market. These cars were positioned as the future, the game changer, the technology that was supposed to disrupt the entire industry. Buyers were skeptical then. They're still skeptical now. Used EV buyers want charging infrastructure confidence. They want battery health transparency. They want resale guarantees. And dealerships can't offer any of that because it doesn't exist yet. So EVs sit, doors stay locked, lights stay on, and the finance cost of carrying that inventory becomes a massive burden. A dealer told me the cost of carrying a single unsold vehicle for 200 days is roughly $3,200 in interest, storage, and administrative costs. Multiply that by 6,000 VW ID4s, and you're talking about $19 million in carrying costs that never goes away unless the cars move. The Kia EV6 is right behind it with 217 days of market supply. Nearly 5,000 sitting unsold. The Porsche Taycan, a car that starts at $80,000, has more than 1,900 on lots with 229 days of inventory. A luxury EV that costs more than a house down payment is sitting. Let that sink in. One dealer posted on their lot, Taycan pricing adjusted weekly now. We cannot move it. The Tesla Roadster, positioned as the holy grail of electric performance, is sitting in inventory too. The entire luxury EV segment is struggling. It is not because these are bad vehicles, it is because the business case for luxury EVs has collapsed. If you can afford an $80,000 Porsche Taycan, you are not shopping used. You are buying new. And if you are buying new, you are getting the warranty and the full feature set. Used luxury EVs are stuck in this weird middle ground where they are too expensive to be practical, but too used to feel premium. The money that dealers have tied up in this inventory is not trickling back. It is evaporating. The Ram 2500 heavy-duty truck has more than 8,000 units in market supply, with 233 days sitting. Imagine having 8,000 of anything in a warehouse that you cannot move. The money that's tied up in that inventory is bleeding away every single day. Ram made a huge BET on heavy-duty trucks during the pandemic. Supply chain crisis meant production cuts, and dealers couldn't get inventory. When production normalized, Ram assumed demand would stay hot. It didn't. The market shifted to lighter-duty vehicles, compact trucks, efficient models. Ram was left with a mountain of Ram 2500 trucks that nobody wanted. Dealers are scrambling. They're dropping prices. They're offering subprime financing to buyers with shaky credit just to clear space. One Ram dealership in Texas told me, "We had 47 Ram 2500 trucks in inventory in January. We've sold 3 of them. We're past the point of negotiation now. We're just trying to move metal." The game has completely inverted. Where they used to hold firm on price, now they're folding in days. In early January 2026, the picture got uglier for slow movers. The Cadillac Escalade faced similar pressure. Not quite as severe as the EV inventory crisis, but the same pattern. Slower turnover, price pressure mounting. Escalades used to be the symbol of status, luxury. Now they're the symbol of dealers trapped in inventory they can't move. A dealership in Atlanta told me they had 6 Escalades on the lot in December 2025. By April 2026, they'd sold one in 4 months. They've cut the asking price 3 times. Still one buyer. The Escalade's $85,000 entry price is a massive barrier when the market is tightening and buyers are nervous. The Dodge Charger showed up on the slowest selling list with 15 months of inventory at current selling rates. 15 months. That's over a year. For a muscle car, a car that's supposed to be desirable. The Dodge name carries weight, performance, heritage. Yet the 2024 and 2025 Chargers were piling up because dealers had over-ordered them based on 2023 demand projections that never materialized. Dodge was betting on a nostalgia wave that crashed into economic reality. Buyers wanted efficiency. They wanted financing they could afford. Dodge offered a 370 horsepower muscle car with a $52,000 price tag and a $725 monthly payment. The market said no. Dealers now have more Chargers than customers. One salesman posted on a forum, "We've run sale after sale. Chargers just don't move. We're financing anyone with a pulse at this point just to clear space." The Jeep Wagoneer and Grand Wagoneer, the luxury SUVs that Jeep positioned as premium 3-row haulers, also started showing up with heavy inventory and slower movement. Fine vehicles. But the market wanted compact crossovers, not three-row luxury boxes. The Wagoneer pricing started at $58,000. That's a massive jump from Jeep's traditional customer base. Jeep dealers were expecting that higher price point to attract buyers. Instead, it alienated them. A Jeep dealer in Texas stated on a forum, "We've had a 2024 Wagoneer sit here for 8 months. We've reduced the price 3 times. Still here. We're going to eat $10,000 easy on this one just to move it and free up floor space." By March 2026, the Audi A6 had become a cautionary tale. 409 days of market supply. More than 3,000 sitting unsold. Only 351 sold in the last 45 days across the entire country. That's approximately 7 A6s per state per month. That's a car, a solid German-engineered sedan that nobody wants. The money locked into that metal is insane. A dealership group in Ohio reported on dealer forums that their A6 inventory ranged from 2 to 15 cars per location, with ages ranging from 4 months to 14 months. The A6 is a quality vehicle. It's German engineering. It's reliability. But it's also a $60,000 full-size sedan in a market where full-size sedans are dead. One salesman said, "These cars are just sitting. We're losing money every month they're here. We've tried everything. Price reductions, extended warranty, financing deals. People just don't want to drive a sedan anymore." The theme across all these slow movers isn't that they're bad cars. It's that the market has fundamentally shifted. Full-size sedans are dead for the mass market. Luxury German imports are struggling because buyers can't justify the payments. Electric vehicles are taking longer to sell because the used EV market doesn't have the infrastructure yet to reassure buyers. And trucks that sit in inventory longer means dealers lose margin per vehicle, which forces them to drop prices on their entire lineup to maintain cash flow. It's a spiral. One dealer put it bluntly, "I'd rather sell 10 cars fast at lower margins than 2 cars per month at whatever price I can get." The slowest sellers aren't just slow. They're reshaping what dealers can afford to stock. They're forcing inventory decisions that eliminate product categories entirely. Dealers are literally choosing not to buy sedans anymore because they know they can't move them. Now flip to the other side of the market. Beginning in late 2025 and running straight through early 2026, certain vehicles became gold. The Honda CR-V, the Ford Bronco, the Nissan Rogue, compact Japanese crossovers, and affordable SUVs that offer utility without breaking the bank. These cars are gone in days, sometimes less than a week. Data from iSeeCars shows the Tesla Model X, Tesla Model 3, and Tesla Cybertruck among the fastest movers. Used Teslas are averaging 24 days on market compared to the national average of 53 days. That means a 4-year-old Tesla is turning twice as fast as the average used car. And dealers know it. When a Tesla comes in on trade, they know the clock is running in their favor. One Carvana manager stated, "We've adjusted our strategy for Teslas. They move so fast now that we're raising our asking prices before we even list them." The Honda CR-V story is particularly brutal for anyone shopping used. The CR-V has become the default choice for buyers who want utility, reliability, and reasonable pricing. A 5-year-old CR-V with 90,000 miles is selling in about 18 days. That's incredible velocity. A Honda dealership in Southern California told me, "CR-Vs list on a Friday, and we're taking phone calls by Sunday. We don't negotiate anymore. We just pick from the interested buyers. It's a seller's market like I've never seen." That velocity translates into markups. A 2019 CR-V that would have been $26,000 2 years ago is now $31,000. Same car, same mileage, same condition. $5,000 more, and buyers are paying it because they know the next one will be gone before they can even call the dealer. February 2026, the market intensity around these fast movers reached a tipping point. The Ford F-150 was being marked up $2,000 to $5,000 on used inventory because dealers knew the turn was days, not weeks. The Chevrolet Silverado 1500 faced similar markups. The F-150 market is particularly interesting because it spans such a wide range of configurations. A 2019 F-150 with 140,000 miles, base model, is still moving in 23 days. That's speed. A customer posting on Reddit said, "I got a quote on a 2019 F-150 with 140,000 miles for $38,900. Same truck was $34,500 3 months ago. I asked the dealer about it. He said, 'We are out of these next week anyway.'" That response captures the entire dynamic. The dealer is not negotiating. The dealer is not worried about your shopping around. The dealer knows that if you do not buy it, someone else will within a week. So the dealer prices accordingly. The market had inverted for popular utility vehicles. Instead of haggling downward, buyers were haggling against markups. A Toyota RAV4 used to be a slow burner. By March 2026, used RAV4s with higher mileage were moving in an average of 29 days. One dealership owner said on a podcast, "RAV4s used to sit for 60 days. Now we mark them up slightly and they're gone in 4 weeks." The RAV4 is interesting because it's positioned as a reliable family hauler, not luxurious, not performance-oriented, just solid. And that solid positioning is exactly what the market wants right now. Buyers aren't looking for thrills. They're looking for transportation that won't break the bank and won't break down. The RAV4 delivers that, so it sells fast. By mid-March 2026, the fast mover premium became impossible to ignore. Hybrid vehicles across all segments were outpacing gas-only versions. A 2021 Toyota Prius sold in an average of 19 days. A 2021 Corolla, gas-only, took 41 days. The math was visible on every lot. Hybrid equals faster movement equals dealer markup equals consumer pain. That 22-day difference in sell-through time is massive for dealer margins. If a dealer is holding inventory costs of roughly $20 per day, that's $440 in carrying costs alone. Multiply that difference by hundreds of vehicles per dealer, and you're talking about hundreds of thousands in costs. The dealer recovers that by marking up hybrids and discounting gas-only vehicles. So hybrid buyers pay a premium. Gas-only buyers get a better deal but take longer to find. The market has completely separated. The Subaru Crosstrek, another compact crossover with good gas mileage and reliability, was selling in 31 days. New inventory was being marked up based on expected turnover. Dealers were receiving trade-ins and immediately pricing them 8 to 12% higher than they would have 6 months prior, betting on the speed of movement to overcome any price resistance. A Subaru salesman told a customer off record, "That Crosstrek will be gone in 10 days. The price isn't moving down." That kind of statement from a salesman tells you everything about market dynamics. The salesman isn't trying to close you. The salesman is acknowledging that there's no negotiation possible. The market sets the price. You take it, or someone else does in 10 days. The fastest sellers had one thing in common. They offered practical utility, strong fuel economy, reliable brand heritage, and price points that felt reasonable for buyers stretched thin by inflation. The Honda Civic compact sedan, despite the sedan market struggling overall, was selling fast because it offered affordable transportation that worked. A used 2019 Civic with 75,000 miles is moving in 22 days and attracting multiple offers. The Mazda 3, another compact vehicle, was outperforming larger sedans by an enormous margin. The difference between a Civic and an Accord in the used market is now brutal. Compacts are moving. Mid-size sedans are sitting. It's not because Accords are bad cars. It's because the market has decided it doesn't want sedans at all, and compacts at least offer reasonable pricing and fuel economy as a consolation. Compact was winning, Efficient was winning, reliable was winning, affordable was winning. Everything else was losing ground. A dealer in California summarized it on a YouTube comment. "We've completely restructured our buying strategy. We're only touching vehicles that have turned in 35 days or less in the past 6 months. Everything else is a money drain." That filter eliminated a massive portion of traditional dealership inventory. That dealer is saying they won't even buy vehicles unless they've demonstrated the ability to turn in 5 weeks. That sounds reasonable. It's actually ruthless. That filter eliminates sedans. It eliminates large luxury SUVs. It eliminates anything positioned at the premium end of the market. It leaves only compact, efficient, affordable vehicles. That's what's left standing in this market. So what's the actual split? The fastest selling cars in America in spring 2026 are selling in roughly 20 to 30 days on average. The slowest are sitting 200 to 409 days. That's not a market fluctuation. That's a market fracture. It's not just about vehicle type anymore. It's about what buyers can afford and what solves their problem right now. Full-size luxury sedans solve a problem for maybe 2% of the market. Compact utility vehicles solve a problem for 40%. The dealers stocked based on legacy buyer patterns. They're now stuck with inventory that reflects 2022 demand in a 2026 market. In 2022, people were still willing to spend. Interest rates were low. The economy felt stable. Buyers wanted status vehicles, sedans, luxury brands. Now, in 2026, that is completely reversed. Buyers are defensive. Interest rates are elevated. The economy is uncertain. Status symbols feel reckless. Buyers want reliability and value. What's most brutal is that dealers can't just stop ordering slow-moving vehicles. Franchises have manufacturers who mandate inventory levels. If you're a Porsche dealer, Porsche tells you that you need to stock Taycans. They don't care that Taycans sit for 229 days. They care about moving vehicles from the factory. The dealer is stuck. They're forced to buy vehicles that won't sell so that they can maintain franchise rights. That creates perverse incentives. The dealer becomes increasingly desperate to move that inventory. Prices drop. Markups disappear. Soon, the dealer is underwater on the entire batch. One Porsche dealer told me, "We're taking losses on Taycans just to stay alive as a franchise. If we refuse to stock them, Porsche will pull our franchise. So we stock them, watch them sit, and accept the loss." That dynamic explains why slow movers drop prices so aggressively. That's why the pressure is so intense on the slow movers, and why the markups on fast movers are becoming completely standard. Download our free guide, 10 car brands to avoid, links in the description. The fast and slow movers are generating enough cash flow to absorb the slow movers. A dealer sells 10 Honda CR-Vs in the time it takes to sell one Audi A6. The CR-V sales generate enough margin to make up for the A6 losses. But as the ratio gets worse, that math breaks down. If dealers start moving one CR-V for every 2 A6s, the equation inverts. The fast movers can't carry the slow movers anymore. This split is only getting wider. And if you're shopping soon, which side of the market you land on might be the most important decision you make. When Sarah walked onto that Honda lot in February 2024, she didn't know that sedans would become the wallflowers of the American car market. She didn't know that in 2 years, her perfectly reasonable Accord purchase would look like a choice that was already dying. Now, in April 2026, she'd buy a Honda CR-V without hesitation. Everyone else is. But back then, the market was mid-shift, and she caught it at the transition. Here's what matters. You're not in a transition anymore. You're in the market. If you walk onto a lot in April 2026, you're seeing a market where certain vehicles are golden, and certain vehicles are essentially being donated by dealers just to free up space and capital. The question isn't whether you can negotiate better on a slow mover. The answer is yes, you can. The real question is whether you want to own a car that proves the market has already moved past it. Because depreciation doesn't stop just because you own it. It accelerates. The fast movers that are being marked up today are the vehicles that will hold their value tomorrow. The slow movers that are being slashed today are the vehicles that will be worth pennies next year. Sarah got lucky with the Accord, not because it was a good choice, but because she bought early enough that the market hadn't fully abandoned the category. If she were shopping now, she'd be walking past those depreciating sedans entirely and heading straight for the CR-V lot, where dealers are pricing aggressively because they know they're selling that thing by Friday. That's the market we're in, winners and losers. And the winners are disappearing from the lot faster than dealers can stock them. And before you make your next move in this market, download our free guide, 10 car brands to avoid. It's free, it's in the description, and it might be the most important thing you read before stepping foot on a lot.